All right, Shalom, Shalom. This is your brother Shamak. I have the Great Millstone Atlanta Camp. Before I get started, I want to give all the glory, infinite praise unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well in the overseas tabernacle of David. Shalom to our sincere brothers that's pushing teaching truth across the four corners of the earth. And Shalom to our sincere believers out there. Here with us a whistleblower in a heavy video concerning information concerning the upcoming months and the upcoming time that we're in, and basically and definitely the upcoming year agenda. Okay, this was concerning information brought out from a Liberal Party of Canada, which came from an email from a meeting from October 10th, the year 2020. So it's very recent and very up to date. Okay, and very relevant in the times we're in now. We're in evil times. Okay, we're in biblical times, man. And this is from a committee member of the meeting. Okay, and 30%. It mentioned also in the email that 30% were against the agenda, were against the plan. Okay, it's a fearful agenda, man. All right, so I broke it into some clips, and I want to put the link in the description box below. Okay, so I broke it into some clips, and of course I'm related to the Bible because hey, this is the truth. Okay, so here we go.
Secondary lockdown restrictions on a rolling basis, starting with major metropolitan areas first and expanding outward, expected by November 2020. Next one, rush the acquisition of or construction of isolation facilities across every province and territory, expected by December 2020. These are concentration camps they're talking about. Daily new cases of COVID.
Boom. Hey, there we go. Hey, what did he just say? These are concentration camps. They were talking about isolated facilities. And the men of the Lord, the Hebrew Israelites, have been prophesying of these times, man. We have been prophesying of these very same events, okay? Because of the scriptures. The scriptures say so. This is Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. See? Isolated facilities, man. Concentration camps, all right? That ye may be tried. What is going to be tried? Our faith, man. These are about to be evil times, fearful times, man. People are going to be bugging out. Continuing on, it says, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. That number 10 representing perfection, okay? You never know how long that time may be. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. See, it's all about being faithful unto death in these times, man. All right, with this information given out on this agenda. All right, but continuing on.
COVID-19 will surge beyond capacity of testing. Interesting that they already know that they're going to surge, right? Why? Because they know that if there is such a virus out there, assuming that there's a real virus out there, the testing is it's already predetermined. They're testing, they're attenuating, they're basically amplifying the RT-PCR test to the point that every human being will test positive. That's what their goal is.
See, and have we not been seeing that through this entire pandemic since March? Every death that's been recorded on the news, they're saying COVID-19, COVID-19, COVID-19. That's the information that's being brought out now. It's all part of the agenda. It's all been a part of the plan, and that part is really not hard to see. Brothers and awakening spirits have been seeing that, man. So that's not too hard to believe or realize. All right, but continuing on.
All right, so the new daily new cases of COVID will surge beyond capacity of testing, including increases in COVID-related deaths following the same growth curves, expected by end of November 2020. Complete and total secondary lockdown, much stricter than the first and second rolling phase restrictions, expected by end of December 2020, early January 2021. Reform.
See, what he just mentioned, a secondary lockdown that would be much stricter, okay, than the first, coming December 2020 and early January 2021. All right, a much stricter lockdown. Okay, these are the times we're in, man.
Reform and expansion of the unemployment program to be transitioned into the universal basic income program, expected by Q1 2021. Projected COVID-19 mutation and or co-infection with secondary virus referred to as COVID-21, leading to a third wave with much higher mortality rate and higher rate of infection, expected by February 2020. Enhanced lockdown restrictions referred to as third lockdown will be implemented. Full travel restrictions will be imposed, including inter-province and intercity, expected by Q2 2021. Guys, understand that. That means...
See, look, in the scriptures, we've been pointing this thing out in the scriptures. All right? We've been pointing these times out in the scriptures, okay? Let's get 2nd Ezra chapter 15. All right? He said travel restriction. All right? Travel restriction. Oh, Slocky. Let me go down to 2nd Ezra chapter 15. All right. Okay, yeah, this is it. This is Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 17, straight to the point. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. The plan just mentioned, it even mentioned a third lockdown. Okay, and who's to say it may even get to a third lockdown? Hey, we will see. Okay, but that's what's written in their documents. All right, it says a much stricter than the first. The second would, and then how much more so the third? Travel restrictions. All right, and the scripture just said, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. That's purely city lockdowns, man, shutdowns that we already seen in the first one. Okay, verse 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. It said that he mentioned that universal income. Okay, it's going to be resistance behind that universal income, and that can come through the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. All right, it's just going to make everything more convenient and more simpler for these elites to rule over the population, the mass people, that is. All right. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. This agenda is about to bring great tribulation upon the people. All right. But continuing on with the video.
Can't go to Quebec. All right. This is what they're talking about.
So he even mentioned you can't go to the next city. If you were in this city, you're not gonna be able to get over to the next city, which we just read in 2nd Ezra chapter 15.
Transitioning of individuals into the Universal Basic Income Program, expected mid-quarter 2, 2021. Projected supply chain breakdowns in inventory storage, large economic instability, all expected late second quarter 2021. Deployment.
And I want to also shed light on the quarter definitions that he's mentioning. First quarter would be January to March. Second quarter would be April to around June. Third quarter would be July to September. And the last quarter, of course, would be October to December. So that's how he's breaking it down. So he probably saying mid-quarter, that's around April, May, April, May, June. All right, just to shed some light on those points. All right.
Of military personnel into major metropolitan areas as well as all major roadways to establish travel checkpoints, restrict travel and movement, provide logistical support to the area, expected by third quarter 20 debt reset program. In exchange for acceptance of this total debt forgiveness, the individual would forfeit ownership of any and all property and assets forever. In exchange for acceptance of this
in order to accept that, and they have to accept that world debt forgiveness agenda. Okay, that will forfeit all any assets or ownership that a person has forever. That's going to bring great tribulation as well, man. That's going to have people bugging out. Okay, that's going to bring evil into the streets. Okay, people are going to act a damn fool.
Total debt forgiveness, the individual would forfeit ownership of any and all property and assets forever. The individual would also have to agree to partake in the COVID-19 and COVID-21 vaccination schedule, which will provide the individual with unrestricted travel and unrestricted living, even under a full lockdown. So
there you have it, man. You would have to agree to the vaccinations. You have to agree to whatever schedule they have you set on for you to be living a regular life in this society. And society is not going back to normal, so it's not much more that you would be taking heed to, But let me get 2nd Ezra chapter 6. All right, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 22. It reads, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall be suddenly be found empty. See, so it's not gonna be the same. Okay, everything, all the assets you have, this and that, going to grocery stores, they're gonna take full control of those things, man. Unless you comply with their program. Now, if you comply, you can take heed into that. Basically, you got to sell your soul to the devil. That's what they basically want, your soul, giving away all your assets that you have ever worked for in life, forever. All right, signing your life over to them. Okay, verse 23, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. Okay. Verse 24, and at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. All right. So we're in some great times, man. we're in heavy times. All right. He also mentioned that you must agree. Let me get a quick scripture with Revelation chapter 13. Revelation chapter 13, verse 15. All right, because these nations, I'm gonna do a part 2 on this video as well because it's so heavy, and then he also brought up some great information. All right, this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So that beast going into this system, man. All right, going into this system. So if you don't comply with this system, it says if you don't worship the image of the beast, all right, that image going to the system says you should be killed. All right. So if you don't comply, you're gonna face the consequences thereof. If you show resistance, you're gonna face the consequences thereof, because you must agree to the vaccination. You must agree to this and that, whatever they present to you through this planned agenda. All right, going into 2021. All right. So this is biblical times, and this is the times that we're in. We're in heavy times. All right, we're in the last days. These are the last days, man. And the Lord willing, this lesson, the video, brought forth some light pertaining to that matter. All right, but I want to end out by giving all the glory, and I will do a part 2 to the video as well. But I want to end out by giving all the glory, if it praises unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rachah Kadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well in overseas tabernacle of David. All right, and Shalom. All right, Shalom. Keep the faith above the ball.